hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. It's me. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Am I alive? Hold on. Send me. There we go. We're here. Let's get started. Let's get started. This is where we're at. Don't know what I really did all day, but I felt like I was really busy. I felt like I've been really busy, but I know that's not exactly true. Yet here we are. Said I would try to start early today. Actually started a bit late. Even though this is my my semi-off day. Yeah, so here, this is what we're doing right now. Do I have anything weird up? Yeah, I don't think I have anything weird up. Okay, that's fine. I have my time tracker open, but that's irrelevant. So this is where we're at. Oh no. Not quite. This is where we're kind of at. This is where we're kind of at. Is one. Let me see if I can find it. It's called like the Godot Lua Plug-In Script. Let's grab that. So this is what we are working with today. The Godot Lua Plug-In Script. This was more or less released onto the asset library, the Godot asset library, not the asset store, mind you, the asset library. Today. Saw the tweet. Saw someone asking if they could use MoonScript, and I was thinking, wait a minute. MoonScript, that's like fairly complicated. But what if? Right? Since this is just Lua JIT, should just be able to plug in Fennel, where Fennel is a Lisp written that compiles down to Lua and then just sends it, you know? So that's pretty cool. And it kind of works, kind of doesn't. So as you could kind of see here, I'm doing some just prints where it's actually a dump. We're completely just dumping the Lua tables. So one of the cool things about Lua is that everything is a table, aka everything is a dictionary. So it makes everything really easy to figure out, right? So you can see here that this is our class, where the class is just a table, a dictionary. It has to be a Lua style dictionary, which I believe GD script actually supports as well. You can do Lua style dictionaries in GD script, which I've always found to be kind of a weird addition. Oh, the Lua style dictionaries are, I don't know, if you already have regular style dictionaries, aka like JSON style, where JSON is not a programming language, by the way, but if you already have that style, JSON style, why would you also support Lua style? Like, Lua is just a different, slightly different paradigm. Not really different paradigm, but just different way of doing things. Let's see. I'm gonna knock this out pretty quick, because I do have to end on time today, more or less. Because I have a deliverable due tomorrow, so after this, I do need to just go back to real work. Who would have thought? Alright. So what I'm trying to figure out is what's the best way to get Fennel code. So this is some FNL code. You might notice that it doesn't really look too much like what you might be familiar with because of all of the parentheses, because it's a Lisp. How nice. I think one of the things I've noticed so far is that you're not able to instance in things like you can load in the text scene file, right? But when you load it in, it doesn't load in the script at the same time, and you're not able to attach the script at runtime either. I've tried that. So what I'm currently trying to do is I just have the paddle. It's here. It's available. And then we'll figure out what exactly we want to do afterwards with it. And if I remember correctly, you can also export some of these. Or is this not true? Can't... Yeah, no. No, you can't export. That's unfortunate. Okay, so you can't export these. So let's go with a different pattern then. Let's go with a different pattern. Alright, because that you might have noticed I already have some code. I started playing with this during the day, so that's probably where all my time went. Started poking around at this and then just lost track of everything. And now here we are. So I know that C# has export bars. I don't believe that those are very easy to do though. Let's see, so this is object, these are variants. Yeah, we don't want this. Yeah. I'm not super versed on Lua, by the way. And I've made a few games in Love 2D before, but most of them were just for Lua. So Fennel, not too familiar with it, although I have seen it around, and I thought it was pretty neat that you can AOT compile. And then you can AOT compile to Lua JIT, which is really, really fast. Lua JIT is about as fast as C#, surprisingly enough. Okay, so let's mess with how things are set up. So this is a paddle. Paddle. Open up the paddle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the scripts. We don't need the scripts. Scripts are for nerds. And then we will make this local, yeah. We'll make it local and then we'll just have like left paddle, right? So paddle 2, I'll move it over. And then I'll just have to do that. Left paddle. Oh, I'm old, Timmy. Hello, Philippe, you are old. I concur. Congrats on being old. I'm proud of you. 25. I'm still older than you. But only slightly. I'm only slightly older than you. I've been told I've been old before by like children, which is fair. I am much older than a child, which I'll concede. Should I be buying a Harley? Vroom vroom with the boys? With the boys though. Love driving motorcycles with the boys. I'm old now? I don't know. I feel like motorcycles aren't really like an old person thing. I feel like that's like a midlife crisis kind of thing. If you're old, you're more like, you're buying like an old Model T, fixing it up and then just driving it around very slowly on the highway. Or on local roads. Isn't it old to have a midlife crisis? Doesn't that just mean that you're like of average age? you are of normal age at that point, since you are at midlife, maybe. Congrats, you're normal now. If you want to get a Harley, you aren't old, Felipe. You are just of normal age. 25 more, possibly. I'm sorry that you had to hear that here. Congratulations. You're halfway done. better buckle up. Alright, so here's what we're doing today, by the way. So we're making Pong. Because that's what I always do when I learn something new. But someone released a Lua JIT plugin for Godot. And since it's Lua JIT, which means that you just have regular access to Lua, that also means that you have regular access to all the other languages that Lua supports that compile down to Lua. So the idea is I'll load in Fennel, write my scripts in Fennel, compile that down, or maybe even try to run them interpreted in Godot. And then so we'll be running Fennel through Lua JIT through Godot. It'll be beautiful. Rock and roll all night and party every day. Was this person Gilzoid? I might know the guy. Yeah, it is Gilzoid, yeah. Look at that. Gilzoid. I guess you do know them. Look at that. I gave it a star. Nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, cause he's Brazilian. Yeah, you're Brazilian too, right? Oh, hello, Feldy. Hello, hello. He's cool. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know him personally, but I'll take your word for it. Confirm that he is possibly a human. That's the most I can confirm. The Godot Brazilian server on Discord. Man, there's so many Discord servers. I feel like that's one of the things where I was slightly left behind for a little while. Is Discord. That's how I know I'm starting to get old and out of it. Oh man, you kids nowadays and your newfangled communication thingies. Back in my day, we only had Skype, and we liked it. Also, what is up with the formatting with this? I just noticed that there's... it kind of messed up. Recently, I'm a boomer already? Oh, baby. I recently found out that the Discord client doesn't handle many Discord servers very well. Yeah, because the Discord client is just Electron, right? So, you know. V8 is fast, but it's not that fast. Kids in their Friday Night Funkin'. Yeah, dude, Friday Night Funkin'. That's hot right now, I guess. Or that was super hot, and I guess it is still super hot. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna keep a lot of these here. Got a new keyboard, so please excuse me while I type very slowly, because I'm not used to the layout. It's a Tokyo 60 keyboard with one of the keys. Or I guess there's like 3 switches which just feel like linear switches, and they're not supposed to be linear switches. So, and I don't have any more replacements. And they was DDR, yeah dude, DDR. DDR was my jam. Actually, DDR was not my jam. I was pretty bad at DDR. I'm bad at rhythm games in general. Explain why 200 buttons lag the client. I don't know. I don't know. It's Electron. I blame JavaScript. Like, JavaScript is nice. It is a bit too lenient in my opinion. I like it when my code yells at me. Not because I'm a masochist or anything. But maybe it is because I'm a masochist. I don't know. It's kind of going. It doesn't have to register every channel in every server, just the ones that are open. I don't know. I don't know. There could be any number of reasons why things are slow. Like there was someone who was trying to contribute to this application, and they wrote like a thing for perfect sync models. So I think this model only has like 12 blend shapes, while perfect sync models have 12 plus 52. Right, and so I thought it was because how they were applying each blend shape, but as it turns out, it's a Godot problem, because in Godot 3, the renderer renders things super inefficiently for whatever reason. So it was like 52 plus 12 times like the number of materials. And so that's how many draw calls that were happening every single frame. Discord, the company with the worst security concepts ever. Discord? Has Discord ever been hacked? If you've never been hacked, I say that you're doing security pretty well. So I think I don't need to dump these anymore, so I'm just going to comment them out. Discord itself is not, but the client has very bad security. Well, yeah, it's client side, right? And then it just connects to their servers via just REST requests, more or less. Like, I've looked at the Discord API. This Discord API is garbage. Almost as bad as Twitch. Twitch API is also pretty bad. But I've talked about that before, ad nauseum. But I'm happy to talk about it more because it's tough. It's tough implementing all that myself. Alright, so this is Pong. I think what I'm gonna do is we'll just have... How do people usually play Pong? Is it like... It's just 2 buttons, so we can do... What are like 2 very common keys on the keyboard? We'll do A, Z, and MK. A, Z, MK, and then I'm pretty sure I can pull for input here. For example, you have 1 session token. Every client you log into shares the same token that never really expires. What do you mean? What? That doesn't make sense. What? How can you share 1 session token? Isn't the session token, is the session token not stored client side? Or do they store your session token server side and then they just check to see if have you logged in recently? That logically does not make sense to me. Right, so if it's stored client side, then it should never be possible for you to share the token unless you're like logging in from the same browser, in which case, yeah, that does make sense. But your Discord desktop client, which I don't usually use, I just use the web client since I'm a pleb. Your desktop client should not know about your web client. I don't believe that they do, because I'd still have to log in. I've had to log in before on my Mac. Yeah, the session token is required server side to remember the session again. You log in again, the server sends you the same token again. Well, does it? That doesn't sound right. That kind of invalidates the point of a session token. Left, move down. Right, move up. Right, move down. Okay, so we're gonna do, this will be A, Z. God, I hate pressing the, I haven't pressed the R key yet, but the R key on this keyboard needs, the switch for the R key needs to be replaced. Because it just feels like a linear. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense for a session token, right? Because session tokens are for your current user session, and so that kind of breaks the entire tech stack. So then how do you know if you're currently logged in? The 2 token concepts, so you have 1 session and 1 token to refresh the session token, the refresh token is the same over... Yeah, that's the same way, yeah. That's how refresh tokens work, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how Twitch does their things, and that's how a lot of places actually do their session tokens, right? So you have a token, you have your login, your access, your session token, right? And then you have your refresh token. So your session token invalidates over a certain period of time, but your refresh token stays more or less the same, and then of course you need to hide both tokens. But you don't know when some other client is logged in. When some other client is logged in. I'm trying to figure out if that makes sense. Discord can't do that. I suppose that's true. Yes, if it doesn't require like a client ID, which I think it does. I think that's how my Discord bot works. Actually, it doesn't even need to refresh itself. It just stays logged in using an OAuth token. But it does need, if they don't store a client ID, then yeah, I guess they wouldn't. Since the refresh token is always the same, you have to invalidate a single refresh token, which logs out every single client. Yes. Yes. Maybe. I guess, yeah. If all clients share the same refresh token, then yeah. That makes sense. Although it does seem weird that they would send over your refresh token to your clients. That seems like something that you would just need to request per client. So if Discord is just sending you a refresh token, they're just giving you the refresh token without you needing to like log in. Or I guess you log in and then they send you the same refresh token, then yeah, that's bad. That doesn't seem like how it works, but maybe that is how it works, I don't know. That seems wrong, and so if they're doing it, then that's wrong. Right. Refresh token should always be, I guess, per client. It shouldn't be stored. Or it should only be stored by the client. Yeah, the login, yeah, it always sends you the same. The QR login is the same again. Well, that's weird. That's very strange. Alright, so we're going to implement this in Lua first, by the way. Because writing this in Fennel will be a bit tough. So, let's see, I believe, let me see. What is it called? Reference. I think there's some globals. This part I'm a little confused about. Alias for GD prints, sure. GD prints is this one. Yeah, I think it's globals underscore G underscore underscore index. It's very strange. So we do globals function call underscore G. That was a function call, right? Yeah. Function call underscore underscore index. This feels wrong. Then we'll do has singleton key. I wish it told me what this is expecting. So right now I'm just assuming that it's expecting a string. So do input singleton. And then this one will be is action pressed. Hooray. Oh, you know what? If I just use the input callback, then that will more or less work as well, I think. Let's see if this works. What did I call it? It was left move up, left move down, right? Left move down, left move up. All right. If then and okay. So I don't know. Let's just hit it with a print, just to see if this will work. This doesn't always work, which is why I'm doing like this. Okay. One error. Function arguments expected near dot dot. Near dot dot. Function arguments expected near dot dot. 43. So someone told me there's a weird set of events with a phone verification banning that can allow you to still receive events even though you shouldn't be allowed to see anything. I can believe that. Yeah. I mean, isn't Discord? Discord is still like a very small company, right? So a lot of things are patched together as expected. Not quite up to code, if you will. Parsing script. Function arguments expected near ... How do you listen for input here? Maybe I shouldn't even do this in process. What if I just do this? You can see hidden channels from the API, and it just hides channels you aren't allowed to read in. Yes, that sounds right to me. Possibly. I don't know. I think my bot... I need to check that. That doesn't sound right. I don't know, some of these sound a bit sus. Some of these are a bit sus. This is the official notification of sus. Doesn't sound quite right. I feel like my bot isn't able to read some... It has had verification errors before when trying to access a channel I did not give it access to. I don't know. Something doesn't seem right there. I feel like you might be gaslighting me a bit. Function. That's not how you do it in Lua. No, you can't access them, but you can still enumerate them plus the permissions on them. Yes. That sounds right. Because on the guild's API, you can just request the number of channels. And so you can know which channel it is, but you cannot access it. Yes. I think that sounds that sounds correct. Is action. All right. So here's what we're trying to do. It's just be able to pull from events. We'll pull events from here. So, because there's no example of this. There's no example project. Please. And the only example project is more or less like it doesn't even use Godot stuff. Yeah. So there's like, it just uses the, actually, does it? Prompts. Oh, okay. Text entered. Okay, so this does it via callbacks, which is not how I'm doing it, because it's not possible for me to do it via callbacks. Events is class. Events is pressed. Actually, this is kind of a weird one. That doesn't... Yeah. Is class input event key and then is pressed and then they check for scan code. I think this should just work, I think. Right? Yeah, that Discord API was bad, but I don't think it was that bad, at least for me. Oh, look at that. We're able to listen for events. How nice. So now this is what I can do. Is just have certain fields be available. So we can do left, up, false, left, down, false. Trying to hit all the correct keys, which is a bit tough. Because it's not an ortholinear keyboard anymore. Making the API isn't bad, but the client API concept is interesting to say the least from a security standpoint. That is what you're studying, so I suppose that you're more of a authority on that than me. I've been poked at the places I shouldn't be. But when I was working on it, it didn't seem too bad. It seems about as expected in most parts. But maybe it's not. Does Lua have elif, by the way? Lua else if. If then else. If else. Elf. Give me the Stack Overflow. Is it else if? It's else if, one word. Yeah, I think their API is bad. I think that's just my opinion on Discord API, is that it's bad. It's not great. It's very, I don't know, like it when the API doesn't match up to, I guess, how it's actually displayed, it's like, what are you doing, man? Isn't this like your version 7 of your API as well? I might be wrong about that. Self.left down is equal to true. Oh, this is how I need to do it. I forgot. Is action pressed, right? And then yeah, okay. So this one just handles single events, so that's why I can handle things like this. They know that QR code login leads to many social engineering attacks, but they have no concept against it. It's just one avenue, one attack vector, as InfoSec guys like to say. Is equal to. The backspace key is where my I guess backslash and pipe key are on this keyboard. It's a 60% is equal to false. So this one needs to be, yeah. I do know that most of, you know, so-called hacking things that go on are not really like real hacking, they're just like social engineering. So another attack vector, not great, but also not the end of the world, for sure. I've also mistyped this. Left, move, down. Oh, so this needs to be, I need to change these function calls to something else. I'll just keep mistyping these because I'm focused too much on typing. One attack vector, but the overall security is depending on the weakest link, so that one is actually, yeah, that's true, yeah. This is true, yes. Your security is only as strong as your weakest link. I've heard that saying before. And I believe it, you know. Of course, in any corporate environment, your weakest link is almost always the human element. Talking about that though, I have been gotten by one of the you know, the red team attacks, social engineering, whatever. They were like, because they got me. It was a very devious attack. One that you could only really perform if you knew how things actually worked inside the company. And so like one day I just get an email. It looks like pretty much exactly like one of the emails that they send out when your password's about to expire. And if your password expires, then you're locked out. Pretty much out of like all the systems, right? Because to reset your password, you need your password for whatever reason, or a PIN code. But I don't have a PIN code because I'm not a standard employee. And so I was all right. Well, yeah, let's go. And then I went to the website. I said, oh god, this doesn't look like the website. It's just the present. Click on the present opens up, plays an animation saying that congratulations, you now need to take required security training. I was like, just cruel and unusual, but I will admit defeat in this one instance. You got me. Congratulations. Because So if I get locked out, then I need to spend like just days on the phone to reset my password manually. Oh, and you got auto-modded? Put? Misogyny? Put is a restricted term, by the way, apparently. It's very cool, very cool. Social engineering, but as social platform, many users that aren't educated in that point, they should at least warn about the QR problem, but they don't even put up any warnings. Well, I don't know. That's up to them. What they determine to be high priority or low priority is none of my business. You know, I suppose it is my business if I interact with people like that, but you know, the inner machinations of Discord is beyond my purview. Is action pressed. Right, move, or action pressed, action released. I don't know. I mean, has that kind of thing been reported to Discord as well? Do they know about it? Like, do they know that it's a possible attack vector and they're just not doing anything about it? I suppose if they know about it, they've been informed, and they're choosing not to do anything about it, then that's pretty bad. But, I don't know. Is this like a new thing that you found? Or just bringing it up to a random Twitch streamer? See my opinion on it? I don't really have a big opinion on it. Often don't actually judge the measures taken, just judge priorities. I know at least 5 people who have been tricked about it. With that, really? Actually, how would you be tricked for QR code login? How would you go about tricking someone like that? How does that work? Yeah, I can't really think about, like, you just like ask someone like, hey, can I see your QR code? And then that's it. And then you need to invalidate all your logins after that. Is that how that works? Attacker says, hey, you have gotten a 1-month Nitro present, and sends you the QR code. Sends you the QR code. Yes. But wouldn't that be, that would be their QR code, right? It wouldn't be your QR code? There's no way to get your QR code. That would be their QR code. So then they're logged in on your client, sure. Then what happens? Right? Just logging in doesn't give them access. Right. Because as far as I know, there's not really like server-side Discord extensions. So there is, you log in when they send you their QR code from their client, yes. Or no, you log in them when they send you their QR code, yes. You are then logged in as them on your clients, yes. Then what? Then what? The Discord doesn't have, I guess, server-side extensions, right? No, reverse, they are logged in as you. You log in them when they send you their QR code from their clients. They are logged in as you. Huh? What? What? So they send you their QR code. You log in on your clients using their QR code, but you are not logged in as them. They are logged in as you? That doesn't make sense. Is that how that works? Something about that flow doesn't seem right. And so because, so going back to what you were saying before, so because of how Twitch does credentials or session tokens. Well, no, because then that should just break a bunch of other things, right? Like if you were to scan anybody else's QR code, they would be logged in. The other person would be logged in as you as well. Yeah. So that's just a huge bug. You log in a desktop client by scanning the QR code from the client on your phone, so your phone logs in that desktop client. I'm thinking about that. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. You log in a desktop client by scanning the QR code from the client with the client on your phone. Yes. So the phone logs in that desktop client. Yes. Maybe. The desktop client. I don't know. That doesn't seem right. So how does that lead to them being logged in as you if you scan their QR code? Because even then that flow doesn't make sense, right? Because you've scanned their QR code. So that your phone client shouldn't share anything with the desktop client. So it doesn't matter who. If anything, it should actually log you in as them on your phone, right? Or are you saying that it gets messed up somewhere in between? So because you scan someone else's QR code with your client, it sends them your refresh token? Is that correct? Does Lua have switch case? Switch statements. What's the alternate? Oh, Lua also, like Python, does not have a switch statement. Very good. Building a table. Ah, oh, jeez. A table of functions. It does because the QR code is a login request to the phone, not in reverse. Huh? Huh? I'm having trouble understanding that. Huh? The QR code is a login request to your phone, so when you scan their QR code, they log into your phone? Or you grant them access to whatever thing is on your phone? I don't know. How does that work on this Discord? So let's open up Discord in an incognito tab. That's just a new window. Incognito window. So open up Discord. Log in with QR code. Scan this with the Discord mobile app to log in. Oh, okay. That's how that works. Okay, so you're saying that they send you... Wait, no. You don't generate that QR code with a login account. The QR code shown by the desktop client to authenticate. Yeah, so okay, so you're saying that you get sent one of these, and then when you scan that, they send you this, right? They send you this. You scan it with your phone, and then it logs in me right now. It logs in me with whatever was logged in with the phone clients. Yeah, okay, that's weird. Interesting. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was something, I thought you generate this from your accounts to log in your phone. But no, this is, yeah, that is weird. Yeah. Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. That seems like a big design flaw, yeah. Yeah, I almost logged into the web client. Yeah. That's weird. Cool. Anyways, we'll dump that. That makes sense, I guess. Okay, so if it's just something that you use your phone to authenticate yourself, I guess. Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. See, what I was thinking is that it was doing the, I guess the more common thing where you need to log in on your phone. So from your desktop accounts. Thank you very much, Dewey, for doing a jump. Check this out, by the way. For some reason, all my app icons got yeeted when I re-exported them. So we can hide this, just so it's more cinematic. Whee! I can also just send you, if you were present. But thank you very much for the follow anyways. That sense. But thank you very much, Feldy, for educating me on the dangers of doing that. I did not realize that, yeah. I didn't realize that it's not a... You use your phone to log into the desktop client. You don't log in to your phone client using your desktop client. It's very interesting. I think that might have gotten me, actually. That might have gotten me. I guess that just makes me old-fashioned. That makes me old-fashioned, unfortunately. So, left paddle. Let's see, I think I have access to global position because it's just a static body 2D. There's not really a lot of... Oh yeah, there's almost no documentation on this, which makes this a bit tough. Y minus equals 10. And then, let's see, if left down, then, yeah, but what I'm working on today, I usually work on things like this, or the, you know, stream avatars-esque thing that you might have seen before, or you might see right now just kind of bouncing around on screen. But, you know, someone made a Lua thingy. Lua JIT plugin for Godot, so I'm just playing with it. Just making Pong since there's no example project. I hate it when people release things without an example project. Just today I got another report that someone was scammed by this. Yeah. Probably millennials like me. Millennials like me who have not kept up with the times. So this is in process. If left, right, up. And I should really switch my keyboards back to my usual one before I stream. This is tough. I'm having to think really hard about typing right now. Alright. That makes sense. That is a weird security thing. See, now I've been convinced that there probably should be something that's like, if this is not you, then or don't scan this. Maybe it should just be written on the QR code, right? Because since QR codes, you don't need to have all of it, right, in order for it to be processed. Send you a video recently. Asha, the speaker on the news, thought he was cool for dancing for TikTok, since that news channel has a TikTok channel. It's German. I know some German. There's what is it? We have Ich bin Berliner. Berliner. I'm a jelly donut. That's a classic, spoken by former U.S. presidents. Oh, was it Jimmy Carter? I forget who said it. I don't know. Then there's you can say Das Leben, the life. Don't know. Don't know too much. There's Fraulein. That's a good one. Wiener Schnitzel. All the other World War II things that kids who played World War II games know. You can say Los. Go. Halt. Stop. Anyways, let's try this. So we got one error. What was the error? Parsing scripts. Expected. Oh, did I do... No. Oh, can you not do this in Lua? Pong Lua. Error parsing script. Expected and equal. Or equal expected near dot. Okay. Okay, so I guess this syntax just does not exist in Lua? Maybe? Possibly? How do you do plus minus? How do you do plus addition, subtraction in Lua? It's been a little bit. Lua. Addition. Operator. Yes, arithmetic operators. What do you got? How do you do inline? Arithmetic. Oh, is this a Discord thing? Oh no. Relational operators. How do you do this? Is it really I have to do just copy and paste this? There's no way. That would be horrible. Also, unfortunately, I will not be taking the risk of watching a video on stream, but I will watch it later. For sure. I don't really have a good way to pipe audio into different audio channels. I'm sure there's a way to do it, I just don't want to mess with it on stream. So don't want to do that. Okay. Is that really no way to do that? That seems bizarre. So we'll do boom. Then this one will be similar, boom. Except this one will be plus 10. Alright. The reason why I'm typing so slowly is because this is like an Apple II style layout. So I'm just kind of freaking out right now. Oh. The control key is where the control key is where caps lock usually is. So that's really, really messing me up. I did remap some of the keys to be more logical. Or not logical, but at least how I like to have my keys mapped. So I have WASD as my arrow keys, along with just the Apple II style arrow keys, which are semicolon, quotation mark, open brackets, and /, which I somewhat dislike. It's mostly because I had to use more than one hand. Okay, so that's not working. Let me see, if left up, oh no, it needs to be self left up, and so it also did not throw an error, which is really cool. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Okay, now this should work. I always forget that you need to, in these kind of languages, you need to have a reference to self. No, huh? It's not gonna work. Let's add a really quick print statement. Who needs debuggers when you have this? Boom. Okay, so that's working. Global position. Interesting. Interesting. So it should be working, but it's not. So let's think about why. Because it is registering it. Am I not able to modify the position? Or does it just need to be like a bigger value, right? I don't think it does. I believe I can still just look at the remote. So we go to Pong, left paddle, global position, position will be here. So then we can see ASDF. Nothing is being changed. So we're able to get the value. Print left self left paddle. Am I able to get the global position, or is that like not accessible? Is that why? It's because I'm not actually doing anything. No, it's there. It's there. Global position should be changing, but it's not. So I'm setting it equal. How do you do how do you do expressions? How do you do expressions in Lua? Oh my god. Please. Please. Logical operators, no. I know how logical operators work in Lua. Let me see. Concatenation, no. Precedence, no. I could just store separate values? Let's try left down. So instead of doing this, that's not it. Let's see. We'll do self left left paddle. Global position. I don't believe I can just create a vector 2, but I might be able to. Vector 2 0 0. That might break. I don't know though. Yeah, see, that works. That works. That's not how you play Pong though. So do I have to do like a this? Oh, you know what? Am I not able to set the value on a sub table, like a nested table? Is that how Lua works? I thought you could do that in Lua. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's too many levels deep, possibly. What does this give me? Not like that. Control Z. Control C. Let's grab this and then see if this like gives me a sensible value. Let me see. So boom. So -10. Yes, that's correct. What? But we're not able to modify the value? Usually you're able to, but there are ways that can be blocked depending on the API that exposes that object. Yeah. I know that in C# you can't do that if it's behind a get sets, because that kind of implicitly creates, I guess, getters and setters. So you cannot access the object behind a getter setter, which makes sense. That's a bit tough. Which means I'll need to have a local value. That's fine. Local difference is equal to, we'll just allocate a new one, that's fine. And then just leave a note so that I come back to it. So, or like when I inevitably come back to it, I won't be like, who made this? I mean, I still probably will, but let's see, cannot set the new value in one line. Similar in Lua meta tables, yeah, you can make a getter, but just leave out the setter. You know what? That might be a meta table. Now I'm thinking about it. Let's see. There are things somewhere. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really understand a lot of this stuff. Like, once you get into like really deep meta table kind of structures, I'm completely lost. Like, yeah, you can, everything in Lua is a table, sure. And so everything is just a table. So you can have tables in tables in tables, and it's just everything is a table. It's tables all the way down. And so when the table structure gets too deep, I'm just baffled. Oh, you know what? We can also just do this, like local difference is equal to 0. So just so we don't have to reallocate. I don't know if this makes a difference, but it makes me feel better about myself. Because at least the way it looks is a bit more consistent, if you will. Where's my delete key? That's not the delete key. It needs to be special backspace. There we go. Difference is equal to self left paddle. Table 0, the forbidden access. Yes. That's the one thing I really dislike about Lua. I've made this, my position on this probably a bit too clear, but I really dislike any language that starts indexing at 1. And I will forever rail against this because this did cause me to lose some points on an assignment when I was still in school. Yeah. Isn't accessing position 0, that's just that's commonly used as like the error position in a lot of libraries? I feel like I've read that before. I think in R, it's just used as like an invalid position, which makes sense. What did I do there? Lua is a nice little scripting language. Find out arrays start at 1. I don't want to see that language again. Pretty much. You know, I think for what Lua is made for, right? It's made as a really easy embeddable scripting language, especially for people who are not as technical. So, as possibly for like someone like myself, I guess, right? It makes sense, right? Because you don't start when if I ask you to start counting up, you don't start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. You start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in terms of just usability, starting at 1 makes more sense. Excuse me? What? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It doesn't make a difference if I do this. I can shadow and that will be fine, I think. Or actually, is that an error? No. Okay, so you can't. That is bizarre. That's tough. So I need to create an entire copy of this. So I can get the Y value, but I cannot set the Y value. If I want to set the Y value, I need to hit it with one of these. So copy. That's our difference. And then I'll need to create a local, just a local copy of that global position at the same time. So boom. So local gpos is equal to one of these, global position, and then g position dot y is equal to difference, right? So I guess it's not that we cannot set the new value in one line, it's because, oh come, I need to change that in the layout. Even though that it makes logical sense to have page up and page down in the position that they're in. So page up and page down is L, and then period, and then home and end are K and comma. So that logically makes sense, because that's how keyboards look, I think. Isn't that how, that's how a full-size keyboard? Full-size keyboard layout. What does a full-size keyboard look like? Or is it not? And I can just change this without feeling too bad about it. No, that makes sense. So home end are on the left, page up, page down on the right. Yeah. But, God, I keep pressing the wrong button because I almost never use page up, page down. But I do very often use, you know, home and end. Big fan, big fan. Alright, so this is cannot set x, y values on nested global position. So let's test that out, right? So let's just move up. Excuse me. Oh, wait, I didn't do it yet. This is equal to the new G position, right? So give that a try. Okay. I mean, it works. It works. Now we just need to do that for every single one. How nice. So I think that should be okay. Then this one just needs to go. Keep pressing the wrong button. I need to remap that so it's not, or I guess so that it's flipped on its side, so that home and end will be on the same row, not on the same column. Same column kind of freaks me out. And by kind of freaks me out, I mean it's like really messing me up right now. So right paddle. And then, oh, then this also needs to be right paddle. I messed that up as well. G position, so. So let's grab all of this stuff. Grab that. Paste. Should be fine, I think. So I'm really trying to get used to pressing control when control is in the caps lock position. Usually that's where I put escape. Yeah, I do know that like on some programmer keyboards they like to remap caps lock to control, but it's just I can't do it. I'm too used to having control in the bottom left. All right, I'm okay with flipping escape to the caps lock position. But anything else, that's too much. So let's see, MK. Look at that. All right, so now all we need to do is play Pong. And then we're good. Let's play Pong. So these are the paddles. I actually don't need these entities since it could be done, but it doesn't look like there's a way to do export vars in this Lua binding, which is a bit tough. Not their fault, but it is tough. I'm actually a little confused as to what you would be using this for if this doesn't really have, if it's not fully featured. Because you cannot instance in things. Well, no, you can GD load things, right? So you can load in from a path, but you aren't able to load in the associated script. And then you're also not able to set a script on something. So there is set script, which is exposed, but it doesn't seem to do anything. I think it only works for like GD script, which is a bit tough. And I'm not sure if that's a bug or not. Oh, hello. Funny thing, this is my main language, the first one I learned fluently. This is the first language, Lua is the first language I did game dev in, using Love 2D. That was pretty okay. Running into a lot of problems with, I guess, how the bindings actually work. I think it's okay. I think one of the big things when I was first doing it, because the first language I learned was Python, and then I learned Java, and then I learned Lua. And so the thing that would constantly mess me up is I would just try to index at 0. These are for Lual. Is that a pun? Isn't a Lua? Use it for dancing. Alright, let's go back. Man, very bad at dancing. Should never see me dance. Like, I know that some people, you know, they're just like, you just gotta feel it, man. Just get into it. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I feel like whenever I dance, I just get really nervous. And even when I get like really drunk, I only get like a little bit more loose. Oh, these are all just export variables? Excuse me? That's cool. Oh, did it say that in the documentation? Now I'm thinking about it. That looks familiar. Hold on. Values are defined as properties of the class. Well, yes. Oh, thank you. Have you ever been to a Lua? I think if you are in university, at least at American universities that have Greek life, you might have been to a, I guess, a fake Lua. Let's see. What defines these as being export? Nothing, huh? Export. Export, export, export. Okay, well, what this now means is that I kind of wasted my time like pushing all of these into the same script. What I could have done, Control B, is that I could just create I could have kept those paddle things, right? Left paddle and right paddle. I could just keep the paddles and then encapsulate this behavior inside of them. So that each paddle kind of has its own, you know, and then just define the script variable here. Like, you know, is this the right paddle or is this the left paddle? How does this handle enumeration though? Now I'm thinking about it. How does this handle enumeration? So if I define, how do you define an enum? Does Lua have enums? Lua, enums. Enums in Lua, probably not. Enumeration's Roblox Developer Hub. Alright, I guess you'll just have to define an array of strings, possibly. So if you had, so we'll have side, no, we'll have sides, then loop through, possibly. Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is I'll just do something like this, right? So I have like, you know, you'll have the none side, you'll have the left side, and then you'll have the right side. And then we'll initialize this. Oh, did I kind of whistled through my teeth by accident. And then your side will be, how do you access from within the table? I've never had to do that before. I know you can do it outside of it. I don't know, let's just see if it works. Ooh. Or I guess this would just be like its own table, possibly, maybe? Something specific? Well, I just want to see if this is possible. What I'm looking at is, also this, I don't know if this is valid Lua code. Yeah, I got some errors. Unexpected symbol. Very good. Yeah, self. Yeah, well, when you're inside the same table, is that how that works? I don't know. Error parsing script. Unexpected symbol near blah blah. We're thinking. At least in Lua. Unexpected symbol. Fair enough. Hit me with the error. Save. Clear. Or are these not exported? Huh. I know if I do it like, if I do it like this, right? Can't you do it like this? You can do pong.side.sides as equal to whatever the heck this is. I'm typing a lot slower, by the way, because I'm confused by my current control scheme. appreciate the input, but been saying a lot of words. Been saying a lot of words, so it's hard to know which word you're responding to, but I do appreciate it. Let's see. So we'll define that. Boom. Slap this into here. So this will be pong side is equal to pong. Not like that. Pong dot sides like that. I wonder if this will work. Yeah. Error parsing script 31. Is this not how you define an array? I thought that's how arrays worked in Lua. Oh no, arrays are just tables. Forgot. Arrays are just tables in Lua. Arrays are also tables. I forgot. Sides, no. Okay, neat. And then, how do you access my index? Yeah, that is how. Oh, because it starts indexing at. I hate it. It starts indexing at what? Doesn't start. So that's what I was saying. It gets me every time. Anything that starts indexing at 1 just messes me up. So I just assume like, oh, this is my array. Let's get the first value in my array. Cause that's my default value. All right, so sides null. Oh. 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 All right, gotta go. Well, thanks for hanging out and just get it. Much appreciated. Take it easy. I'm gonna continue struggling through this. Because once I'm finished with the Lua stuff, I'm going over to Fennel. We're gonna pre-compile Fennel AOT to just Lua. Good night. You too. Look at that. That's the dream. So once I get this working in Lua, we're going to Fennel. And then we'll be 3 layers deep. And then I'll just write a really quick UI and GD scripts. And then we'll just be mixing all kinds of languages. Good luck. Yes, I'll need it. Yes. I've done Fennel before, very briefly. Not very experienced with it though. Alright. So I thought it'd be fun for some reason. Alright, so I think we can just grab this and slap it in like so. So this will work. Give that a save. See how that feels. Attempting to index global value side. So this is self.sides. Self a nil value. Okay, so you can't do that. Interesting. Yeah, let's just go back to this. This is fine. Although that doesn't really work as an enum, so how unfortunate. Anyways, we're not gonna keep that here anyways. We'll just go with this basic implementation where everything is just in the same file and controlled by the same file as well. Who needs encapsulation? Clear this. I think this is fine, right? Yeah. It's not reloading itself, which is might be a problem. But now I just need to define the ball, right? So we have things working. How nice. Let's create the ball. The ball will be a real object, or a real, not a real object. Of course it's gonna be a real object, but it'll be a kinematic body with a collision shape on it. So attach a collision shape. Yeah, that looks about right. Now let's create a polygon 2D as well, so I don't have to draw anything. So polygon. The collision shape, by the way, how big is this? This is 10, radius 10, so this, yeah, polygon of size 4. So it'll be negative 10, negative 10. No. Negative 10. Yeah. Then this is 10, negative 10. Why is typing so hard? 10, 10. Then this is negative 10, 10. Yeah, so this is your ball. We can even add a nice background. Canvas layer. Color rect. So this will draw behind everything, and then we'll just make this like a full rect. Black. There we go. And then also it's drawing on top of everything, so let's have it draw below a -1. Yeah, there we go. So now that's pretty much Pong, right? Except you would generally want to keep score and also keep the player from just falling off screen. So let's see, these are, because I'm drawing these kind of manually, the extents, these are 100 by 100. Okay. Or just 50, right? And also, something that's pretty cool about this plugin is that they do provide an editor plugin as well. So there is just linting. There's no code completion, but that's fine. But having an editor plugin, that's crazy. That's crazy. So we can grab the ball as well. So this will be the ball. Should probably make that its own thing at this point, but we're not going to. Self ball is equal to self get node. We'll call this ball, right? Yeah, don't need this. One of the hard parts I still need to figure out is how to, I guess, access the input singleton, so I don't need to do everything via unhandled input. Oh, and this also needs to be in physics process, right? Since I'm moving it. Function Pong underscore physics process, just so it's actually picked up by Godot. So ball has a speed. We're just gonna hard code it for now. Don't really need this dump function anymore, but I'm gonna keep it in there just so I don't forget. Yeah. Technically don't need any of these either. I think all of this stuff is just fennel stuff, and then this was just seeing how do you like load in an arbitrary Lua file without having it be attached to anything. Alright, so there's your process for moving stuff. Moves basically as fast as possible. Oh, and you know what? Let's multiply by delta times 60, just so that we are actually respecting our difference between frames. And then we just multiply by 60, because that's our physics time. How does that feel, actually? Yeah, that still feels pretty good. Very snappy. Let's see. Pong physics process delta. Hey. So your ball will have a speed. How do you define constants? Does Lua have constants? I don't remember. Lua constants. No, there is not, I'm assuming. Does not support constants automatically, but you can add that functionality by putting in your constants in a table and then probably just making it a get only. A read only meta table. Interesting. And then Lua 5.4 brings constants. What is Lua JIT is stuck on Lua 5.1, isn't it? Or is it 5.2? It's one of them. Oh man, the meta table stuff. Don't really get too much. But using a real programming language, something like possibly like Nim. Nah, Forgot you were asking for a real programming language. Got him. Hello, Juan. How are you doing today? Check this out. Whee! He's done it. Whee! Get sent. I've added more sprites. These are pretty much just ripped from my Ludum Dare submission, because I thought they would be nice to have. I'm a dog. No, you are a horse. There is a dog somewhere. Hold on, we can find the dog. Let's get pixelated. Yeah, okay, the snake is see-through because I'm using a chroma key. There is a dog. There's the dog. Oh, that pupper. The dog was a hard one to make, for sure. The horse had to be redrawn multiple times. Oh, turn this off. Anyways, so what I'm trying to do, what the idea here is that someone released a Lua JIT thing for Godot, which is really cool because Lua JIT is almost comparable in performance to C#. But the big difference is that Lua JIT is very portable, which is really cool. And so here's my idea, is that then because it's Lua JIT, it's just regular Lua JIT, I can then write fennel code to run into here. To run in just normal stuff. So it will be 3 layers deep. We'll be running fennel from Lua from Godot. Is that a Lisp? It is a Lisp. Yes. One of the problems though, when you try to access these functions. So what I was trying to do like earlier in the day was, because you can't dynamically assign scripts at runtime, and this is, you know, very Lispy. This works. You can just run them and as basic logic and it'll just work. But when you try to, I guess, attach them to Godot objects, it actually strips out all of this data inside of them. I don't really know why, but it is a Lisp. I've written a Lisp on stream. If you want to check that out, it's very functional. Technically fully featured, especially if you're not doing very complicated whatevers. Very complicated. What's the word? Macros. Yeah. As long as you're not doing complicated macros, it should be fine. Godot enumerations and functions available globally as the GD table. GD table, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Pong is not very hard, which is why I do Pong in pretty much any new language I learn. But I need to figure out. Get Lua instance. Globals, probably not. I don't really understand how to use this one. Search for singleton objects with engine has singleton, and classes with class DB class exists key. Hash any values found to avoid future calls. Maybe I've just been calling it wrong. I don't know. How do you call this? Parameters key. There's no example of how to call it though. And I'm not really sure how to get random values from. Actually, doesn't Lua just have built-in random stuff? Lua random float. Give me a random float. How do you generate a random float? Okay, so Lua just has like math functions, right? So I don't need to use Godot's stuff. I don't need to use Godot's RNG. So we'll do. Oh, okay. We can do a few things. Right. So I have the Lua REPL here, and then I can see how they do their connections, right? Okay. So self, and then it connects it in a, I guess, a very Godot kind of way. So self ball connect. So what is this one? This is actually. What does this give me? Kinematic body 2D. Oh, this doesn't have any signals. I forgot. Collision exceptions, no. Collision objects. Oh no. Oh yeah, I remember. So for kinematic bodies, you just have to check for collisions, slide collisions. So this one is like move and slide. We'll create a new vector too, just like that. Oh, and then I'll need to store that somewhere. Yeah, okay. So let's see, we'll have like ball velocity, which is vector 2, 0, 0, perhaps. And then in the ready function, we can do ball velocity is equal to, or ball velocity. Actually, can I just do math random? Right, so math random. We'll do math dot random. I guess -5 to 5, and then we'll do the same for the other one. Can't I do that? I'm not super familiar with Lua. -5, 5. And then whenever we, I guess, go in the opposite direction, it'll just be reverse your x in a certain way. Who knows? It does not have random. It does have random. Math have random. It's math. It's accessible via math.random. I'm still not too sure how this works. You know, _G I understand, but from what I get is that, like, if it has 2 underscores, then it's a meta table thing, which means it's a built-in, perhaps. So I'm not sure how to call this in order to get singleton objects. Maybe I don't even pass anything n. Maybe it's just G colon parentheses. I don't know. Self dot ball velocity. I mean, let's see how this goes. Just see if it works. It's going very slowly. Okay, so let's jack up the velocity up to like 50, I guess. Starting velocity. Oh, sick cat, by the way. Let's see. Oh, it's so fast. Okay. Make it 150, I guess. It's so slow. I don't. 250. Let's make it 300, I guess. 300 sounds good. By the way, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it. I'm using a new keyboard, which is why I'm typing pretty slowly. Have you ever used an Apple II keyboard? Because that's pretty much the keyboard layout that I'm using, which is mind flooding me right now whenever I try to use the arrow keys. Alright, so... Alright, I missed it, by the way. I need to add walls as well. I forgot. Alright, then we just stop it. So it needs to bounce off the wall. So we can check the wall value. Or maybe not, right? Have you ever used a Commodore 64 keyboard? I have not. I have not. I mean, let's brag about the keyboard I'm using right now. Possibly this is almost the same as a Commodore 64 keyboard. Let me see. Open image in new tab. This is not the keycap setup I have, but very, very bad arrow key layout. Look at this arrow key layout. There is no arrow key. This is the control button, which is why I keep getting confused. And then the standard layout for arrow keys is this one here, open square bracket, these two buttons here for left and right, then question mark for down. And then I've also remapped this to also be a function key so that I can access WASD. But whenever I try to do control or like, you know, shift select, I'm getting really confused because I need to press a lot of buttons all at the same time. Whereas it used to be on my old keyboard, right? I could do almost everything with one hand, where I could do shift, control, you know, move the cursor all with one hand. Build my own keyboard at some point. I'm assuming that you're going to also fabricate your own or design your own PCB. Oh yeah, I have many designs of what I want. I design everything that has in PCB and firmware. Why would you want to design your own firmware and not use something that's a bit more, I guess, standardized like QMK? QMK is nice. I like QMK. I think VIA is also a new one that's starting to see some traction. If self dot ball get slide, what is the function here? It's like slide collision. Get slide counts. Or maybe I should just do move and collide, huh? Oh, my back. Let's see. Is it move and collide or move it? Or do I want to just check for slide collisions? Let's see. No, I think I want to use move and collide. Yeah. Move and collide, and this will give me back a slide collision. So move and collide. And then as soon as we collide with something, we want to like bounce off of it. Because I want some extra keys and functions I wouldn't get with standard firmware. I think you can do that with QMK. QMK allows you to just program your own stuff, but it gives you some pretty good defaults. I don't know. I'm a normie. If it has to do with like C, it's too much trouble. Hello, JWR Harding. Your name looks familiar. Yes, you followed a little bit before. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? I'm just kind of amusing myself right now by I'm going to get this working in Lua, and then I'm going to get this working in Fennel, which I'll run in Lua, which is being run by Godot. You rated me the other day? Oh, did I? I'm sorry, I don't remember. But I'm glad it's, you know, you've come back. We got him. Thank you again. No problem. No problem. I'm assuming that you might have been doing Godot stuff. I do a lot of Godot stuff as well. And the defaults aren't that hard. USB HID device with matrix keypad firmware. I made that a few times. Alright, so what does this give me? I'll stop if it collides. Love the duck. I'm a big duck fan. Alright. Just for that. We can turn you into a duck as well. Let me see. I can find you. You can be a duck as well. Or you can be a pupper. There you go. That's like a duck. that's a white duck. There we go. He's done it. Whee! Look at that. Wrote that in Godot. How nice. So if what does a slide collision hold? Wait, were you the one? You were the one that was doing the 3D printer stuff, possibly? Maybe that was like a weird CNC machine. All right, got you. Put. Apparently, put is a. Apparently, put is a restricted term, by the way. Contains data for kinematic body 2D collisions. Collision is blah blah blah. All right, so this could be null. No, Resident Evil-like game. Oh. Wait, I'm. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. You do the. It's starting to come back to me. It's starting to come back to me. Trying to use nodes. It's okay. It's a different paradigm for sure. If you're used to just OOP. I swear I remember. Do you speedrun? Is it? Do I remember reading in your description that you speedrun them, or you just play them? It's not nil. Yes, I used to speedrun. Ha! He's done it. He's done it. He's remembered something. Remember, in Lua, you need to do this. It's okay, right? But no, so Feldy, what caught you was puts. Surprisingly enough, puts with a P. I don't know why put is a restricted term though. Is it? It must be some like Zoomer slang. Let's see. If collision is not nil, then I need to get the position and then I guess get the angle. What does the get angle do? The value is always positive. The collision angle according to the up direction. Oh, absolutely not. There is no up direction here. So if it collides, it needs to... Oh, there's different collisions, right? So if it collides with a wall, it needs to... Oh no, okay. So collider... If it collides... Let's think. I think I had to do this in Rust as well. So we can do... Put an E so that it's not a nice word in French. Maybe that's it. Really? I don't know any French. French is one of the few languages I know nothing about. I find French to be very difficult. Okay, so we'll just move this up. Bum, 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 bum. We'll add a collider to it. Collision shape. Just make it a big rectangle. Make it pretty big. I don't know. What are my extents? 1,000's probably good. 1,000 will do. Then we will call this wall. I wonder if I can still call get group on this. I'm not sure what is exposed and what isn't exposed in the Lua API. French is hard for the sake of being hard. Yeah, you know. I only know the meme words. Omelette du fromage. So we'll do bum bum duplicates, move you all the way down to the bottom. That looks pretty good, I guess. And so we'll just kind of cheat, and then we'll have some areas as well. That's probably okay though. So collision is not nil, then we'll get the collider. So local collider is equal to collision. Is that just a thing that exists on it? Yeah, it's a property. So collider. We made a keyboard from scratch using a tiny microcontroller and firmware from scratch too. Look at that. Look at that. GitHub. I'll look at it. I'll click on any GitHub link you drop in. Of course, it's also in Nim. Look at that. Badger, 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 badger. Mushroom, mushroom. All right, so if collider, so it's an object. So if collider, I can guarantee that's a node, so I'll just kind of call things arbitrarily on it. So if collider, what is the node thing? It's like is in group, is, or is in, what's the group one? The group, what is it called? Is in group. Is in group, yes. We have collider, it's a function called is in group wall. Then we will reverse your, or we'll generate a new random value based off of where that's has the opposite sign. Okay. Yeah. So it has the opposite sign of whatever your previous thing was, your previous velocity was, right? So if collider is in group, else we'll do a thing, and okay. So if collider is in group wall, then we'll do ball velocity, self ball velocity will be equal to, or ball velocity x is the same, y needs to be randomized. So y is equal to math.random, and we're using the built-in Lua stuff because I still can't figure out how to call Godot singletons from Lua, because Lua syntax is very scary once you start getting to the meta table level. Math.random. So how do I get the sign of a value? So Lua get sign of number. Does math sign exist in Lua or an alternative to it? So let me drag this over here. The way you're doing is honestly the best way. Oh my god. I can make that function even smaller. Alright. That sucks. So there's nothing built in, so I had to define it myself. Okay. Let's do it. I already have the one function up here, which just dumps the entire Lua table. So sign some number. And that's also not how you do it. It's called function, not func. Hey. So if n is greater than 0, then we'll return then return 1, else if n is less than 0, then return -1, else we can just assume. Actually, how do you do else? How does else work in Lua? I forget. Okay, you don't need the then return. We'll just return 1. That'll work. Because I don't think it should never be possible for you to have a 0 value. Otherwise, it's just gonna break. Hack. A lot of this is kind of hacky. I don't really like a lot of this, to be sure. Like, I'd rather encapsulate all of this, but the problem is that you can't instance things from Lua because it just drops the script for whatever reason. Or I guess if I instance it and it had a GD script thing on it, it would work. But because I've been trying to do everything in Lua, it drops the Lua scripts. Because the Lua scripts they're not like, let me see, where is it? They're not like standard like GD native library scripts, right? So you can do like a native script and then those would instance incorrectly. These Lua scripts are like built in like editor scripts, which is really cool, but also means that they get dropped for whatever reason. It must be down to the implementation of the native plugin. Yeah, I'll probably file a few issues after this, but let's see. We'll do ball velocity y random, and I guess there'll also be like the very kind of a weird edge case at times. Or you know what? I should just check for the edge case, right? So this should never ever be 0. So we can do if self ball velocity x is equal to 0, then we'll do ball velocity self ball velocity x is equal to math random, and I'll just default it to running in the left direction. So -1. I hope that works, because I did run into this problem somewhat before where I wasn't able to modify the global position in one line. So this is a one-liner, but I actually need 3 + 1 lines in order to actually modify the paddle position. What's good against Fennel? So Fennel is a Lisp, and it runs at pretty much the same efficiency as regular Lua, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. if you like writing Lisp, then you'll like Fennel. You know, it runs everywhere as well, since it just runs via a Lisp interpreter. And so, you know, also one of the benefits of having, oh, you know, Y doesn't need to be not zeroed. I just need to make sure that we're always going in a certain direction, so that's fine. Oh my god. I need to, alright, press these buttons. Alright. Darn you, Apple II style keyboard. Yeah, I think macros are probably like the best thing about Lisps. You know, so you have that. You can kind of mutate the abstract syntax tree or whatever. It's kind of like how, you know, just annotations work in Java, or I don't know the nim equivalents. I don't know enough about nim to be able to tell you something that sounds smart. Local sign is equal to local s is equal to sign. Nim macros are like Lisps is copied from Lisp. Yeah, I think most macros are Lisp style, Lisp or Scheme style. I think Clojure is generally one of the more popular ones to copy from. Also, did you see that back when Stack Overflow did their big developer survey, they did, of course, Rust wins every year for whatever reason. But then they, Clojure was one of the highest ones as well. And I think it also paid the most, but I don't know anyone who is hiring for Clojure. Just a little bizarre. 300 times S, 1 times S. Right, so then this will just bounce either left or up, yes. And then this will be the same way. So local S is equal to sign self ball velocity X, and self ball velocity X is equal to math random 300 times S, 1 times S. Popular lines pay nice too. Yeah, well actually Cobalt was surprisingly low on the list, right? Like, no one's writing COBOL anymore. So in theory, it should be pretty high paying because a lot of old infrastructure still relies on COBOL. $93. Am I missing something? Yeah. But I think COBOL was pretty low on the list, yeah. Because COBOL is only getting maintained nowadays. Yeah, it is only getting maintained, but the fact is it's gone the same way as kind of aerospace engineering. So for a little while in it's like the 90s to like the 2010s, like aerospace engineering was a pretty bad field to go into because there are no jobs, because no one went into, or no one who went into aerospace engineering during like the 70s or 80s. Or 60s even, you know? They just didn't retire. Because they love their job, I guess. But now that they're all starting to die out, aerospace engineering is a really hot field to be in now. As far as I understand. Alright, so we got a bug. Error parsing scripts. Then expected near knots. Hey, how do you do... Is this not how you do comparators? In Lua? Is that not how that works? Lua, not equals, not equal operator, not equal to nil. Yes, give me this. Oh, is it? It's a wiggle. It's like a. It's a weird Elvis operator. What the heck? I tried learning COBOL. The issue is it doesn't make sense without mainframe. I couldn't find anything that'll learn mainframe development well. Oh, so talk about mainframes. My next project at work is probably gonna have to do with a mainframe, so that'll be pretty fun. I've never worked with a mainframe before. Also, it sounds like the project is pretty spicy, but so it goes. So it goes. How'd you get over there? It just bounced all the way over there. That's wild. Look at it go. All right, so we can do this instead. Because I think what happened is that it's now currently just rapidly changing directions. So we can add groups to these as well. So this is in the paddle group. I feel like the most popular ones they just replace with the next dev. You complain a little, but niche languages are not so quick to replace you. Yeah. Well, I think it's just more like your skill set, right? As well. So, like some languages are more suited for just, you know, more just general app dev. So JavaScript, general app dev, Ruby, general app dev, and also they're of course easier to learn as well. You know, Java, no one really likes it and everyone learns it as well. You know, general app dev, yes, but also, I guess, middleware, like integration. So those are all pretty common specialties, let's just say. It's not really like the language, although language does play into it. I don't know what Clojure is used for, but if you're doing something low level or something hot, so if you're into like containerization, Go is big for that. I'm trying to think of other stuff. Because Kubernetes is Go. Pretty much all the tooling for Kubernetes is also Go. Rust, I don't know. Who uses Rust? My new job that I may or may not be starting next week uses Rust. And that was one of the big selling points. I was like, yeah, I know Rust. And was able to BS them hard enough during the interview and also on the take-home project. They were like, okay, looks good. You can do both Rust and Python. Needs. And this will be broken. So this needs to be else if collider is in group paddle. I called these paddle and wall, right? Well, paddle and wall. Let's also just print, I guess. We can print, be like hello, or this will be wall, just to see. So we shouldn't be seeing too many print statements. Very good, there's an error. Then expected near local. Oh, right. I always forget, you need to have a then. Hello? Okay, so we're just constantly colliding with a wall over and over again. It's for WebAssembly, which has to do with my current job, and it seems to be popular among embedded developers. Yeah. Embedded development, that's definitely a specialty in my opinion. You know, I think modern development has gone more the way of, you know, resources are cheap, but in embedded development you still have to worry about that to some extent. You think I can get the name? So I do print collider name like that, and it'll still work. Yeah, wall 2. Why does it start out just hugging the wall though? If collider is in group, how did you start down there? You should start here. Your speed isn't that fast. Or is it that fast? It might be that fast, now I'm thinking about it. You know what? It is almost certainly that fast. It is almost certainly that fast, and it's only going in one direction, which is the wrong one. So this sine function is probably incorrect. So if sine is greater than 1, oh, it should be negative sine, not positive sine. Can I do this? I don't remember. Will Lua complain about that? So right now it's not bouncing. Oh geez. Where'd it go? I wasn't looking. Do it again. It's so fast. Okay. System 76 started. Go kind of feels left in the dust by Google now. Does it? Google is still pretty hot. Or not Google, Go is still pretty hot. As far as I can tell. I mean, people are starting to drop it for sure. They've been dropping it for a little bit because they've kind of realized that Go kind of sucks for a lot of things. Like it's easy to write, but I think it's overused in a few too many places because it's so easy to write. So they're like, it's basically Python. So they get their Python developers to write it, and then their Python developers don't really understand, you know, like what the heck is a pointer, or what the heck is a reference, you know, or like. What the most egregious thing that I've seen with Golang is that they'll overuse channels. So channels allow you to just more or less just infinitely pull for inputs, which is good if it's like a thing that you should be pulling for input for. But what seems to happen is everyone's like, yeah, channels, that's like a more efficient array, right? No, please don't. Sometimes it's nice to bunch everything up. We don't need to process everything in a stream. Started writing parts of the UEFI in Rust. The next kernel also got a toolkit for Rust. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's mostly for, it got a sign off for drivers, right? Which is neat. You know what? I should generate a random number between like 1 and 100, and then just randomize the direction. Yeah. Go also seems like garbage collector, which causes problems in big production systems. Yeah. There was a thing about which service was it? It's not Cloudflare. It was, man, what was it? It was Disc. Oh yeah. It was Disco. I read that write up. Yeah, that their LFU cache was written in Go, and so it was like super duper optimized, but the problem with that was that they still had the garbage collector hangs. All right, so we just instantly lost because it went too fast. Is this still way too fast? Okay, hold on. We can do like 5 to 10, and I can randomize the direction as well. So if ball velocity is 0, no, that will never happen now. Yeah, so Discord, their LFU cache used to be written in Golang, but they decided that the intermittent hanging because of the garbage collector was unacceptable, even though they've tuned it really well. And I'm familiar, there's only so much garbage collector tuning you can do. From a Java side, right? I mean, if you tune it well enough, it doesn't matter in most circumstances, unless you absolutely need the performance. So they rewrote it in Rust, since Rust has a predictable memory management thingy. But I feel like in most circumstances, you'll find out if you need the performance. In most circumstances, you'll find out if you need the performance or not. I think Java is, for a lot of services, good enough. Python might be a bit slow if you're handling a lot of requests all at the same time. But I think Go, that's what Go is good for. Is one, it's easy to write. It does force you into a certain writing style. If R is greater than, That's not it. And R is great. Oh, geez, where am I? Ooh, if R is greater than 0, then for a language written by or with Google, it's actually a very unexpected issue. I thought they would use it for similar things. Well, I think they just have more resources, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Google uses it for. I know they use it for Kubernetes, and so it's good enough, right? It's not being constantly hammered. Right, you're deploying onto it's just a container orchestration system, right? So you're deploying it onto something else that is presumably written with other things in mind. So it's fast enough for what it does, and then the garbage collection hangs don't matter too much. But if you're, you need a high performance service that's constantly being used, then yeah, you might need to rewrite in C, C++, or Rust. No garbage collector hangs. You only have Rust, C++, NIM. But I thought NIM had a garbage collector. I thought NIM had a garbage collector. But it was basically just a compiled Python. I thought that was it. Maybe it's not. Ball velocity x is equal to, and we're just gonna do this in the worst way possible as well. R1, and then we'll also have an R2. Is equal to self ball velocity x time, or let's do less than 0 because we don't need to. Hey. Yeah, if it's less than 0, because we always start positive, so if it's less than 0, then we'll just multiply by -1. That's +1, -1. Or actually, we don't even need to multiply, right? We just do negative. No, it works like Rust. Really? I thought, okay. Neat. Wait, so NIM pre-compiles all of its memory stuff as well? I thought NIM was more of a... I thought it was more C style. There you have to manage your allocations. Maybe it doesn't. Local R2 is equal to math random -1 to 1. And then R2 is less than 0. I'm not proud of this, by the way. Let me make that very clear. Y is equal to negative self rel y. If I could remember this syntax for doing that, just like times equals -1, I'd be very happy. Alright, so there we go. Bum, bum, bum. So this should be pretty slow, and then once it hits something, we'll also need to have the max and minimum speed. So this one is 10. I think 10 and 5 is good enough. I don't remember if I need to multiply by delta though. How does this go? It's pretty fast. It's pretty fast. Times delta, I guess. Because I believe move and collide, you do want to multiply by delta. So kinematic body, move and collide. Wait, hold on. That's user controlled, not physics by physics at all. Simulated motion. API for moving objects when performing collision tests. Don't require advanced physics. Yes. Let's see. Moves a body along vector, relative vector. Stop if it collides. Blah blah blah. Test only is true. Blah blah blah. Move and slide. Moves the body along a vector. If it collides with another, it'll slide along. That's blah blah blah. Should be used in physics process. Unlike in move and collide, you should not. Oh yeah. Unlike in move and collide, you should. So we need to multiply this by delta. Yeah. That's where I read that before. Now it's way too slow. I've looked a bit into NIM, but not that much. Nim 1.6 just launched. We'll get into Nim eventually. There's a lot of other languages I need to I need to educate myself on. Like one is Lua. I need to get back into Lua. Oh no. So once it gets past you, you do need to catch it at some point. We'll probably just multiply it by 10. Why not? Look at that. So it's so slow. And then it'll bounce off. He's done it. Look at that. Phenomenal. And there we go. That's pretty much Pong implemented in Lua, running in Godot. Yeah. It's a bit jank, but... like, for example, there's no way to score, but who needs scoring? Because what we're going to do after this is rewrite this in Fennel. Which was the original intention. Now I need to think about how would you do this in Fennel, since you cannot attach a Fennel script to a node. You would need to load in, like, I guess the equivalent Fennel functions and then just call them from Lua. So Lua binds to the built-in functions via ready, process, whatever. And then I would load in a Fennel script. Which more or less just completely, oh no, but you can't do that. Because when you load it in, it drops the function, because I've tried this before, it drops the function. So you can see I have these dump whatevers. That's tough. Anyways, I'm gonna... I think that's okay. Look at that. I'll probably upload this. And I do need to get going because I do have a deliverable that's due at work. I've been slacking off a bit too much. That is due tomorrow because I am off on Friday. Hooray! And keyword looks so noisy to me. Yeah, it is a bit noisy. That's why I don't know. I think it's meant to be more readable by non-programmers, like a designer or whatever, right? So. You know, I think having too many semicolons, or even like, I don't even know. Semicolons, scary, you know? That's pretty much it. And I guess it's also more, I don't really have anything. I don't really have an explanation for why it has end. Maybe if they're used to writing things in Ruby. Oh, hello. Rogue Nation. Hi, do you know what a confidence interval is and how to use it? A confidence interval is a statistical thing. It does what it says on the tin, right? It's a confidence interval about how confident you are about a certain thing. Now, I think out of context, it's hard to say how exactly you should be using it. Oh, this is not it, by the way. What did I do? 20. Okay, so let's just throw this up into Git. That'll be fun. Yeah. So probably just in my free time, I'll poke at redoing this in Fennel as well, and seeing if I can get that to work. It's confidential. It's the wrong confidence. Wrong confidence. Close though. Close. I give you 2 points. Out of 2. Congratulations. Full marks. Should name it Fennec. Is that a slight reference to a certain VTuber? What did I even call this, by the way? This is Fennel Pong GD. So we'll get a init. I'll copy over. What's my git? What's a recent project with a good git ignore? Take a couple of measurements and do the average. How to show that as a confidence interval? That's something. I got a secret for you. If you go onto your computer, open up your web browser of choice, and then possibly open cface. Oh, we can open up. Yeah, open cface. Open cface.git ignore. Copy that over here. Yeah, open up your browser. Type in the web address www.google.com, and you can type your question into there. I don't know. I don't remember how to calculate a confidence interval. Don't you, depending on like the kind of statistics that you're doing, can't you just like, isn't there just a button on your statistical calculator? Fennec, yeah, Fennec Fox, yeah. There's a fairly popular VTuber who's, I guess, modeled, or I guess their character is a Fennec Fox. Let's see, this will be Fennel, Pong, GD. Oh, yeah, it's. I don't do statistics in my day-to-day. I did take a lot of stat classes back in university. So if you need to ask me about like, you know, give me a problem that needs to use the Poisson distribution, and I will solve it for you. Also, I will require the formula sheet, but I don't remember all that stuff. I don't know. It's really just formulas at the end of the day. The more complex the math gets, I feel like the more it's just formulas, which is good because you can't just plug things into the formula, right? You need to use the formulas to, you know, plug into other formulas and then solve from there because you don't actually have all the information. Came up with a result I didn't quite understand, so I brought it up with you since you're a software consultant. I'm a software consultant, not a statistics consultant. Could probably look into asking someone who works for SAS about that. Pong, written with Godot 3.3.4 and what is the repo for this? Yeah, Godot Lua Plug-In Script. Let's grab this. So it's square brackets, Godot Lua Plug-In Script, whatever this is, and then we'll just paste. I don't know where my insert key is, so I can use my mouse for that. There we go. To do, actually write this in Fennel, which can be AOT compiled to Lua, or I guess is it JIT if it's just compiled at the very start? Interpreted / JIT run. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. So git status, just send everything, I don't know. Git add all. Git commit init. There we go. So I will create a new repository. If you would like to look at the code, play with it for yourself, it will be there. Fennel, Pong, GD. Send it. Yeah, but here's the dirty secret, Rogue Nation, is that pretty much everything I do, I just kind of Google. I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time. I've spent a lot of today's stream just Googling stuff. Where is my, I need to find my insert key. Insert is above backspace, right? So if I do Control A, Control K, then we do, what was it? Shift inserts? Shift function insert. He's done it. Okay. So git remote add origin. Shift function, that one. Yeah. Git, oh, git add, git ignore, git commit, add, git ignore, push you origin, master, where are the dreams that I've been after, master. master, promised only lies. Yeah, so here we go. If you would like to see a more or less working game example of using the Godot Lua Plug-In Script plugin in Godot, because there is no example, there's only like they have a built-in REPL, which is better than nothing. It doesn't actually load in Fennel though, which is very disappointing for me. But there is a REPL, which is neat. So this is an actual game. Check that out. More or less written using only one Lua script, and it has all the comments still left in it as well. I think this Lua thing is pretty cool though. It's pretty cool. Because it lets you can just load in just random libraries as well. So this is like the entire Fennel interpreter / compiler just in one script, which is pretty cool. So there's a bunch of Lua stuff out there, which is neat. Like you can use one of the very tiny Lua ECS modules. I'm late. You are very, very late, but thank you for taking the time to pop in anyways. I'm pretty much done since I need to bounce and I need to do some real work because I'm late. Or I slacked off too much. Anyways, check this out. This is what I did. This is written in Lua in Godot. It's been pretty painful because I'm not super up to date on Lua. So look at that, it's Pong. Look at that. Wow. Using your, what keys is it? It's A, Z, and then MK. Look at that. It's phenomenal. Because there is no example project for the Lua stuff, so I just kind of figured it out. He's done it. And then pretty much everything else here more or less works, technically. So you can instance in Godot text scenes, but it will not include your Lua script with it, which must be a bug. Here's another thing, is that you cannot access class variables, or you cannot modify super nested variables or doubly nested variables. Yeah, so there's a lot of tiny things, but it is Lua JIT, so it's very, very fast. It's possibly, because it's Lua JIT, performance is almost comparable to C#. This means that writing things in Lua will be much faster than writing them in GD script, hilariously enough. If you are doing like a calculation or something, you're not calling engine functions. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I will be live tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. You know, give the channel a follow if you haven't already. I stream pretty consistently. Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Let's see. I have a Discord. Join that if you want. Have a GitHub where I push pretty much everything. So everything I work on is more or less open source, like this thing right here, which is very poorly written, but let's ignore that. I'll be working on it later, I swear. And yeah. I will catch you later. I'm trying to learn C# as a good piece so I can learn Hacks next. Hacks is pretty much C#. It's like, Hacks is like a weird mishmash of like C# and Java, and like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Hacks. I don't really like Hacks all that much. It feels very weird. I think the fact that it can compile down into like various languages is really cool. Write once, compile multiple times. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're learning Hacks because you want to mod like Friday Night Funkin', you know, you do you. You do you. Anyways, take it easy. Goodbye. No raid tonight since I need to go. Where's my off button? I need to get up to date on Dart. Dart's cool. Remember when Dart first came out. Anyways, goodbye.